What's up, everybody? It's Russell Brunson. Welcome to the Marketing Secrets Podcast. Take one.
So the big question is this: how are entrepreneurs like us, who didn't cheat and take on venture capital, who are spending money from our own pockets, how do we market in a way that lets us get our products and our services and the things that we believe in out to the world and yet still remain profitable? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Russell Brunson, and welcome to Marketing Secrets.
All right, everybody, welcome to Marketing Secrets. So I'm here today inside the Clickfunnels kitchen. This is the first time I've ever filmed in here, which I'm actually really excited. You guys want to see a quick view of what the kitchen looks like? Oh, there's Dave.
Hey.
We got a whole bunch of cool stuff. And we actually built this kitchen because for a lot of products we work with, some reason we always need kitchen scenes, so we always rented different kitchens, and then we're like, we build a kitchen, let's make sure we have a good scene so we can actually film stuff. So we do, and what's crazy is since we've had it, we've never used it for filming. So anyway, but today I want to share with you guys something kind of interesting, and I want to make sure when I say this that it doesn't come off bad, because it has a good purpose, but it's important for you guys to understand. So some of the kind of background behind this, to set it up so that it all makes kind of sense to you guys. So we had a designer that worked for us for a while to come on and help with user interface, UI, UX, those type of things with Clickfunnels. And really smart guy. And what he liked to do is he liked to call and actually interview customers, which first I was like really excited. So he'd go and he'd call, I don't know, 40 or 50 customers, and he'd interview them, finding out like what they want, what they didn't want, all those kind of things, which I thought was kind of cool. We'd never done that before, and some of you guys may have actually talked to him. It's pretty cool. And then based on that, I was trying to build UI and structured based on customers' feedback. And a couple of things I kind of found with it. One is like, and it was kind of almost a frustration to me, because remember I came to him and said, "Hey, this is what I want to have done," and he treated me kind of like as if I was a customer. Like, "Hey, cool, those are good ideas." I'm like, "No, like this is what you need to do this." Because this is, like, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, I'm not a survey. And we always kind of going back and forth, and his mindset was like, we need to find out what customers want, which I agree with, but then also, this comes back to Henry Ford's whole quote about, like, if I would ask my customers what they wanted, they would have said they wanted a faster horse. Like, you have to also understand that, like, our customers don't always know, like, the vision where we're going. Like, that's why we're creating stuff. A lot of times we're visionaries, like, we know where we're trying to go, right? So it's kind of interesting. So he no longer works with the company, still an awesome guy, like, but that was kind of this frustration I had. And I remember for a long time we've wanted to update our onboarding in Clickfunnels, and we want to do a whole bunch of really cool things we haven't been able to do. And this week is actually fun for me because we're focusing on that. Another side story, I was listening to Growth Hacker TV. There was an interview with a guy that had bought the Warrior Forum. He also owned freelancer.com and a bunch of other companies, and he was talking about how they grew to $1 billion valuation. And one interesting thing he said is that they buy these companies or whatever, and then they look at the traffic coming through. They spend a lot of time optimizing the processes, the sign-up processes, to make more money from all the traffic coming, which is kind of the phase we're in right now. Like, we have anywhere from 800 to 1,000 new people a day that sign up for Clickfunnels, just organically. They're coming from who knows where. And thank you for coming. I don't even know where you came from, but grateful to have you here. And they're coming in, and we lose a bunch from the first month, right? There's a big drop off, and after that it stays really steady, but there's a big drop immediately. And so we're trying to figure out that process. How do we capture people and keep them in? And there's a lot of cool stuff we've done that decreased our churn rate, which is the metric we look at, and increased our retention. But right now we're a big overhaul right now of, like, how do we simplify the sign-up process, and how do we make everything easier, and how do we, anyway, so it's fun. You guys will see some new stuff coming in Clickfunnels here in the next within the next 60 days. A lot of this new stuff will be coming live. That's just to simplify the process and make Clickfunnels easier to use. So we're excited for that. But I was listening to this guy. He talked about, like, that's what he was doing, was the simplification of they just worked on the optimization of the sign-up flow, and that's how the companies blew up. And they didn't really focus on the traffic and these other things. But we're always focusing on traffic, and sometimes it's like, how do we make sure that the funnel is right so that we're not losing people out of the holes in the bucket? So anyway, so that said, like, there's a bunch of onboarding stuff that I wanted to do, and I know Todd wanted to do, and so we kept trying to get this guy to do that. Like, we want prizes, we want to go with free t-shirts, we want to do badges, we want to do all, like, gamify the process. And he kept coming back saying, like, well, we can, like, how does gamifying the process help people get the end result? Like, we need to get people to the end result, and this is just like keeping them busy in the middle. And it was funny, Todd kind of mentioned that this morning to me, and I voxed him back, and I was like, there's this quote from Dan Kennedy I heard back in the day that actually ties this. I couldn't remember exactly what it was, so I ended the vox. I'm going to go find the quote, and I'll come back to you. So I ended up finding the quote, and and I posted it there in Voxer. What the quote said is you've got to I'm probably gonna mess this up now. Confuse activity with accomplishment. Okay. Now I'm gonna be careful when I say this because some of you guys are gonna look at that and it might be frustrated or confused or whatever. So I posted that, and the thing it said Dan Kennedy said you have to get your customers to confuse activity with achievement. And so Todd read that first before he listened to my Vox, and he thought I was saying like, oh, this designer was right. Like that's just going to get people confused, like focusing on activities as opposed to achievement. He listened to my Voxer and it was actually the exact opposite. And what's kind of funny is me and this UI designer both said the identical thing, but for the opposite sides of the argument. He was saying you don't want to give people activities that keep them from the achievement. And I was saying, no, you want to give them activities so that they feel achievement, so someday they get to achievement. So you want to confuse activity with achievement. Does that make sense? And so Kennedy said that basically like as a retention strategy. Like people come in and they're going to leave. He said, no, you need to give them things to do so that they have activity that's happening, because the activity is what keeps them engaged. Like if we look at our ClickFunnels stats right now and our numbers and things like that, the interesting parts are like people that stick are people that they have a custom domain. They log in at least 2.5 times per week. There's all these stats, right? But people that stick are people that are going in and doing stuff consistently. And so we know that's the metric, is that people logging in and using it are the key. So how do we people log in and we use it? Well, just like telling them like go build a funnel and you're gonna have achievement, you're gonna achieve a long funnel, doesn't, like the people will try for a little bit and then they're gonna leave because like, oh, I didn't achieve anything. Because the goal is like this huge thing, right? The goal is you gotta eat the whole entire cow, right? Like that's the goal. And so if you're giving your customer, like here's the goal, you gotta eat a cow, the problem is they're gonna come in, if they don't eat a cow really quick, they're gonna be like, huh, and they're gonna leave. So what you have to do is you have to confuse achievement with activity. You have to give them activities to do to make them feel like they're achieving something along the way, right? So they come in, you set the table, you give them their appetizer, they eat that, and they achieve something, right? For us, we're gamifying the process. You come in, you watch a video, you build your hero funnel, we send you a t-shirt, right? So you had activity, and so you felt achievement. Even though you didn't achieve the thing you want yet, you felt achievement, which then drives you forward to do the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. And so while all of us want our customers to have the achievement at the end, the problem is if they sign up and then there's the achievement, there's this huge gap in the middle they're going to fall into and disappear and die. Okay? So because of that, we have to confuse activity with achievement, because that activity will make them feel micro achievements, which then will get them to the big achievement at the end. So that's the goal. That's the message for you guys. As you're creating your training programs, your software, your ideas, your products, your services, whatever it is you're creating and you're doing, why are you thinking about that? You have to go and create activities that get people to fill small wins, small achievements, so that it will drive them through this chasm, through this gap, to get to the big goal, the big achievement that you actually want them to have. If you don't have those things, if you're not confusing activity with achievement initially, they're never going to get to the achievement. And so that's kind of the message for today. I thought it was kind of interesting, and I think it's funny that we both had the same argument for why we wanted to do this onboarding process, but he was saying it was a negative thing and I was saying it was a positive thing. And I think it's very positive. I think all of us should be using it. So hope that helps you guys. And with that said, have an amazing day. Go back through your programs, your products, your services, your members area, and figure out how you can weave those things in, because as you give people those little wins along the way, it'll get them the momentum they need to get the big wins. And that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks so much for everything. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Want more marketing secrets? If so, then go get your copies of my 2 best-selling books. Book number 1 is called Expert Secrets, and you can get a free copy at expertsecrets.com. And book number 2 is called .com Secrets, and you can get your free copy at .comsecrets.com. Inside these 2 books, you'll find my top 35 secrets that we've used to become the fastest growing non-VC-backed SaaS startup company in the world.